Hello everyone, welcome to my channel. Please subscribe and keep watching more details. Why fans think Jana Duggar is suffering from forced labor. Counting on alum, Jana Duggar returned to social media last month after 2 years of hiatus. The 34-year-old is one of the most popular daughters of Jim Bob and Michelle due to her life with the family. She's currently the oldest Duggar to remain single, and many sympathize with her. However, some Redditors believe there's someone to blame for how her life turned out. Keep reading to see the shocking discussion. Counting on. Jana Duggar's online return receives mixed reactions. In May, Jana returned to social media after 2 years of absence. The Counting on alum uploaded a clip of flowers from the Duggar compound. She also shared a glimpse of what appears to be the shed she reportedly lives in for personal space. However, Jana's return also sparked speculation that it was Jim Bob's doing. According to a Reddit thread, the Duggar family patriarch has been trying to create distractions following the second season of Shiny Happy People. Some people also speculate that he was trying to cover up Josh's latest appeal, which was later turned down by the Supreme Court. Why fans think Jana is suffering from forced labor. Some Redditors discussed the possibility that Jana is suffering from forced labor. According to the poster, they wonder how often the Counting on alum has been pulled into Jim Bob and Michelle's room to lecture her about not being married or knocked up. Others chimed in and said that Jana Duggar is free childcare in the family and that her parents used her for thousands of hours without payment. I wonder how many times Jana has been pulled into Bob and Meech's room and lectured about not being married or knocked up. Jana is free childcare. I would be surprised if they weren't actively standing in the way of her getting married. This right here. Rinjov and Meech have a shared doctoral degree in laziness and grifting. They have used Jana for thousands of hours of free labor since she was little. Now she's got pest children to raise. She does their work, they are happy to have her there. Eventually, some poor woman will lose their life giving birth, and Jana will be married off to the widower so she can raise someone else's kids and maybe have one of her own. I think that there are a myriad of reasons why they are not pushing it even a little bit. Counting on. Fans think Jana Duggar is scared of pregnancy. Another Reddit thread also speculates how Jana may be scared of pregnancy. According to some, many of their old clips show how the Counting on alum looked uninterested whenever someone announced pregnancy. Others also recalled the time when Jana Duggar looked so uncomfortable when their family friend, Kelly Jo Bates, talked about her childbirth. I think that's a valid point and great perspective. That's a great point, I can definitely see that. Especially when you think about how many births she's had to witness from a young age. She was there for Jessa's birth with Spurgeon, wasn't she? Because that looked rough, and Jana and Jill helped deliver Jubilee, which has got to be traumatic. Jana Duggar, the eldest daughter of the famously large Duggar family from the reality TV show 19 Kids and Counting and its spin-off Counting On, has long been a topic of intrigue among fans. While her siblings have largely followed the well-trodden path of marriage and parenthood at a young age, Jana, now in her 30s, remains single and still lives at the Duggar family home. Fans have speculated for years about Jana's unique position within the household, with some even suggesting that she may be experiencing what they term forced labor, a phrase used to describe an expectation or pressure to work beyond normal duties without adequate choice or freedom. To understand why this theory has gained traction, it's essential to examine the dynamics of the Duggar family, their beliefs, and the societal expectations surrounding their lifestyle. The Duggars adhere to a strict, fundamentalist Christian doctrine that shapes many aspects of their lives, including their approach to gender roles. The family is part of the Institute in Basic Life Principles, IBLP, a conservative Christian organization that emphasizes patriarchal values and positions the father as the head of the household. Women, according to these beliefs, are primarily responsible for homemaking and childbearing, while men take on the role of providers and decision-makers. Jana's role within the Duggar household has always been different from that of her siblings. While her younger sisters, including Jessa, Jill, and Jinger, got married in their early 20s and started families of their own, Jana has remained at home, seemingly taking on the role of the family's unofficial second mother. Fans have pointed out that Jana is frequently seen in the background of the Duggars' social media posts, cooking, cleaning, gardening, and caring for her younger siblings and even nieces and nephews. This image of Jana as a perpetual caregiver, coupled with her lack of personal milestones typical for women her age, has fueled the belief that she might be laboring under a kind of enforced servitude. The concept of forced labor here doesn't imply a sinister scenario of captivity, but rather a cultural and familial expectation that limits Jana's choices. In conservative circles, like those the Duggars are part of, staying single is often seen as a deviation from the norm. For women in particular, there is immense pressure to marry and have children, fulfilling what is often framed as a divine purpose. The idea that Jana might prefer a different life, one that includes independence, a career outside the home, or simply more freedom, has led to discussions among fans that she might be experiencing a kind of invisible confinement. One major factor that adds weight to this theory is Jana's continued residence at the Duggar home. In many fundamentalist households, daughters typically stay at home until they are married, under the supervision and authority of their father. While her brothers have had the freedom to move out and pursue careers, Jana's situation raises questions about gender-based limitations. Fans have noted that her apparent dedication to housework and childcare goes beyond the norm, suggesting that she might not have the same opportunities to explore life outside the confines of her family's expectations. Social media has also played a significant role in amplifying the perception of Jana's predicament. The Duggar family's official accounts often feature Jana working on various projects around their property, planting gardens, renovating rooms, or planning elaborate family events. Although these posts are intended to showcase her talents and industrious nature, they often elicit comments from concerned fans who wonder if Jana has a choice in how she spends her time. Does Jana ever get a break? And why isn't Jana outliving her own life? Are common refrains in the comment sections. Jana's own social media posts provide further fuel for speculation. Unlike her siblings who often post about their spouses and children, Jana's content is filled with photos of her hobbies, such as woodworking, home decor, and gardening. While these activities showcase her creativity and skill, they also highlight the absence of personal milestones like traveling, pursuing higher education, or moving out, which might indicate a more independent life. In 2022, Jana faced legal trouble when she was charged with endangering the welfare of a minor after an incident where a child wandered out of her care. Although the charges were dismissed, the event brought further scrutiny to her role as the family caretaker. Some fans argued that the situation was indicative of the unrealistic and overwhelming responsibilities placed on her, which could lead to lapses in oversight. The speculation that Jana may be trapped in a cycle of forced labor has also been fueled by insights shared by former Duggar associates and ex-members of IBLP. They had painted a picture of a system that enforces rigid gender roles and teaches women to find their worth solely through service and submission. In such a system, stepping outside these expectations can be seen as rebellious or even sinful. For Jana, who has spent her entire life immersed in this culture, breaking away would be a monumental challenge. Jana's fans remain divided. Some argue that she genuinely enjoys her life, taking pride in her work and choosing to stay at home. They point to her apparent happiness in family photos and her involvement in hobbies as signs that she's content with her situation. Others believe that the public image of Jana as a cheerful, dutiful daughter might mask deeper dissatisfaction or unfulfilled desires. The possibility that Jana's single status is linked to her circumstances has not gone unnoticed either. In interviews and on social media, Jana has spoken about wanting to find the right person but emphasized that she wouldn't settle just for the sake of getting married. While this stance is admirable and shows her determination to make wise choices, it also reflects the added layer of complexity she faces, balancing her family's expectations and her personal convictions.